Today I'm honoring Ken Block and his Subaru Impreza. Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to MapleLeaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a 1:24 scale Jada brand Subaru Impreza WRX STi hatchback with opening doors and trunk. I got this on Amazon, and I'm going to convert it into Ken Block's ride from the Gymkhana TWO video, his pre-Hoonigan days, featuring accurate decals and 3D printed wheels and rear spoiler. Jada models are made with such great quality that I hate to take this one apart, but that's the hobby, and I'm a big Ken Block fan. This is simply the latest addition to my collection of customs that I've done from his stable of cars. If you haven't seen the Gymkhana TWO video, I'll show you a couple of clips of Ken putting the Subaru through its paces in the port of Long Beach. Remember, one of his themes was kill haul tires, and Ken was a man of his word. Because of the high quality of the casting, that means there's some intricacy involved in the disassembly. I'll just fast forward through the highlights of taking out many screws and the important pieces, close to 100 I would say. I'll keep them all together in one place for safekeeping for the duration of this project, which is a good 2 weeks long. I always show you a couple of thumbnail pics of my upcoming projects with the reminder, if you're new to the channel, you can expect a brand new upload every Saturday at the same time, and I hope you'll become a regular viewer. I try to mix up the content to keep it interesting for me and for all of my viewers. Today's video is another twofer. You get the 1:24 scale Jada, and this is a 1:64 scale Hot Wheels version of the Subaru Impreza WRX STi. It'll get an identical treatment with as much detail as its big brother is going to receive. Both cars get a primer treatment. I didn't bother to strip the paint off the Jada because on top of the primer will go a high gloss white and a pretty well complete decal coverage, but I did strip down the Hot Wheels before primer time. Here's a close-up of Ken Block's wheels on the real car. The Jada model wasn't very close, so I had to design and print my own, and they came out great. This is for the 1:24 scale car. You can see the detailed tread and even the lug nuts in the hub. And as with all things 1:64 scale, we're talking micro small. It's the exact same file, just resized. I'm referring to all kinds of Google images while I do this detailing work. Tires are black, of course. The rims are high gloss white, and each one of them has a single yellow spoke like this. I brush paint those in too by hand. For realism, I 3D printed a set of 4 brake discs and calipers to be set in behind the wheels. I brush paint the calipers bright red on a silver base. Beautiful. Then upon consulting the pic after the fact, I found out they're supposed to be black, but I caught it after doing just one. Easy fix. The center hub and the lug nuts are applied by decals, and Ken Block's DC Shoes brand logo goes onto the yellow spoke. Check it out. Ken's driving on Brembo brakes, so I want to make that clear. Oh yeah. And now I've got a set of super realistic looking wheels on both size cars. Back to Long Beach. Today's community shoutout for all race car enthusiasts goes to formulaonesixfour on Instagram. Check it out by following the link I left in the description. Thanks for doing that. Ken Block's Gymkhana TWO video, filmed in 2009, featured this modified Subaru WRX STi navigating obstacles in the port of Long Beach. Though it also started as a road car, this vehicle was far more heavily modified than the one used in the first film, and was the first car purpose-built for a Gymkhana video. Subtitled The Infomercial, Gymkhana 2 was the first of the films to promote a line of merchandise matching the vehicle's livery and Ken Block's racing suit, so DC Shoes is prominently displayed all over the car, as is Monster Energy, which Ken Block continued an affiliation with after leaving Subaru and going with Ford. All of his cars have such great-looking liveries. Awesome to look at, but hard for the hobbyist to replicate, especially when we're going Hot Wheels size. But I'm doing my best. These are some of the largest decals that I've tried to apply in one piece, which I find to be more challenging than doing smaller ones because of the possibility of wrinkles and other challenges. Eats up an awful lot of my water slide decal paper too, which is not cheap. Now for the much smaller, individually cut race sponsorship decals that go on the front quarter panels. Gee, ready? Of course, Subaru is prominent over the wheel wells. And the STi model. Dirt 2, followed by Recaro, Exetti, and Motul, all in black and white. Subaru across the windshield. Alright, that wasn't too tough, but remember, I've got to repeat this all on the Hot Wheels. And although not on the real cars, I always add a Ken Block 43 signature over the driver's door. The Jada casting came with an extended roof spoiler. I've lined a piece of tape there to mark where I'm going to grind it off to match the real car, and then I'll add this 3D printed spoiler about halfway down the tailgate window. Grinding accomplished. A little bit of brush painting because the back is predominantly black. Ghost white decals will go on top, and the ground down spoiler will be covered by a carbon fiber decal too. There it is. Seeing as I went through all the trouble to make brand new wheels and brakes, it's time to remove the originals. I use a cutting disc to make a cool spark show going through the original axles. And off they come. Both the Jada and the Hot Wheels chassis are plastic, and they afford me an opportunity for some detailing. Now I can chrome up some of the exhaust features. This is always the final touch for the undercarriage. The interior on all race cars are always pretty well stripped down, so I'm happy that mine is not overly detailed. I resprayed the original black plastic with this zinc color, blacked out the stick shift, and now I'm doing the built-in roll cage. I customized both racing seats with Recaro logos, red Sparco safety harnesses, and Ken Block skulls as per the real car. Notice the drift brake. I thought it looked a little bit empty, and so I'm adding a fire extinguisher made out of a piece of styrene post with rounded edges, a label and a handle. I place it behind the seats, the roll cage snugly over top. That's a pretty good replication based on the pictures I had to go by. The little car got printed safety harnesses. The Subaru engine was all done up in Monster Energy fluorescent green and yellow, so that's what I did to mine. The Jada has an opening hood, affording the possibility of a peek under there. One of the final details on both cars are the taillights, painted on the Hot Wheels, with the real plastic pieces being reattached to the Jada. Let's have a closer look. This was an awful lot of work, heavy on the cosmetics, of course, with the paint and decals, really sharp-looking 3D printed wheels and brakes. Got the colors matched up as best as I could, carbon fiber print on the roof and the hood, all the sponsor decals on there, thanks to lots of Google images to use. 3D printed spoiler in the back. And a little bit of detail underneath. Doors are welded shut now, but the hood still pops open. And it rolls right off the tabletop. I got everything as close as possible on the Hot Wheels size car too, right down to the DC logo on the yellow spokes, all the sponsors. Just had to reduce them to about 1/3 the size as the Jada was. 3D printed wheels, rear spoiler. I think I captured everything that I possibly could have on the micro version. It had its unique size challenges, but was just as fun to do as the big one. That was one explosive finish at Long Beach. Remember how mine started out? This beautiful metallic blue. Now it's ready for drifting. I hope you can recognize this one as Ken Block's Subaru with the distinctive Monster Energy DC shoes livery on it. I really went hard at the details on both size cars. I think I most enjoy doing these real vehicles in scale size, especially when I'm a big fan of someone like Ken Block and his storied career. I even made up a trading card for this one. Here they are parked together at the end of a fun 2-week project. Let me show you the rest of the Ken Block customs that I've done to date. This was the first one. It's the '65 Ford Mustang, the original Hoonigan car. I did this on top of a die-cast model with 3D printed wide-body parts. The F-150 Hoona truck is one of my favorites. Also went on top of a die-cast body. The Hoona Pegasus is a completely 3D printed car. I did it with a lift-off body so you could see the intricate insides. That was a Pikes Peak climber. Most recently, I finished the Audi S1 e-tron Quattro from his Electricana video. That one's a working RC car, though I don't dare run it for fear of a crash. And the newest addition is the Subaru Impreza WRX STi. 5 down, many to go. Remembering Ken Block. Thanks for visiting my channel again today. I hope you enjoyed this tribute build. Leave your respectful comments below and tell me where you're watching from. Come on back soon and often. It's coffee time.